Hello everyone, so let's continue on with our research lecture. So let's now look at the tips for finding sources. Well, the first tip is to create a research log, which can help you keep track of what you read. My 8th graders actually have a research log where they will write down their source. They will provide information for their source, which I think is a great idea because it allows you to organize your sources, it allows you to organize your speech, and it allows you to keep track of your sources because, as we all know, sometimes we can lose, track of our sources. So this way, with the reading log, you can keep track and be able to easily access them. Start with background information first. So start with the lower level sources first that give you the background information on a topic, and then move your way to scholarly articles. So maybe you're doing a topic on ethnocentrism. You might want to start with an encyclopedia to give you overall background information, definition of the term. And then you work your way up to the scholarly articles in the journals on ethnocentrism. Another tip is to search library computers. Use library website and online databases. The online website at the library for Mankato State is a very, very useful tool, as they have hundreds of thousands of databases that can help you out and help you find articles in journals such as EBSCOhost, Academic Research Premier, WorldCat, and MapScholar. So be sure you utilize the library website as much as possible. You will not be disappointed. And another is to learn to skim. Sometimes what I do is I'll read the abstract of the article. Then I'll read the first few. You don't have to read the first few paragraphs necessarily, but you should at least read a few paragraphs from the article. And then read the bold points, so kind of reading what the main points are, the main bold areas are. Then look at the graphs and figures. Take good notes as you skim. Maybe just make little notes, okay, this article is saying this article is saying that, which can help you better remember the sources, and it can allow you to see which sources would fit best for your topic. Read bibliographies and references. I highly recommend you do this because oftentimes the reference section will have a variety of other sources that you can go to that can also provide you with other good resources. And don't be afraid to ask for help. There's actually a chat feature on the Mankato State Library website that allows you to chat with the librarian 24/7. You can also ask your teacher, your peers, maybe, but just don't feel afraid to ask. It's better to do it right than not right. So now let's look at evaluating resources. Well, the first is to look at the date of publication. How recent is the source? Is the source from the 90s or is it current? Choosing a more current source is ideal because it makes you more credible and it makes your information more relevant and useful to the audience. And you would also want to, when evaluating resources, look at who is the author. So look at their credentials, look at their education experiences, look at their background information. So take a little time to learn about the author. And then you should also evaluate, is it academic or non-academic? Use academic publications as they are often more reliable. I agree with this because sometimes when you look at a website, you're not always getting trustworthy information. So with the scholarly article, you're ensuring that the information that you are getting is factual for the most part and is reliable. You should also look, is it academic or non-academic? Use the quality of the reference page is also something you would also want to look at. The more sources, the better. The more sources that the reference page has shows how thoroughly the author either conducted primary or secondary research, and it really makes the article more credible, reliable when there's more sources. And then you should also look, do other people cite the work? So, well, just because people cite the work a lot doesn't always necessarily mean it's good, but it can mean that it is a credible and reliable source and that it is a good piece of information to look at. So I would consider any source that is cited the most. But it doesn't always mean that it is a good source. We should at least look at it to see if it is. And then now let's look at styles for our speech. The first is API-A, which is the style that we use in our class. The style is more found in social fields or in humanities like psychology, communication, literature, and that stuff. MLA is more in English, philosophy, literature, more in the English kind of spectrum, where APA is more in the social fields like psychology and communication and humanities. Citing sources in speech. Set up the citation. So 1-2 sentences that are general statements which lead to that specific information you will talk about in your source. So just kind of basic information that you know you'll talk about in your speech. So just some basic 1-2 pieces of information. And then deliver the source. Direct quotation or paraphrase in the source. So you can get either a quote or a paraphrase. You should start by citing the author. So say according to, in the study stated, and then do a quote. And then provide an explanation. Explain the quotation or paraphrase. So explain its meaning, explain your interpretation of the phrase or the quote. It's not like a summary, it's just basically stating your own interpretation of what an explanation is. So that concludes our lecture for now, and thank you all so much for joining.